Hi folks, welcome back to my World of Tanks replays with a mighty Jingles. Today it's took a while, but eventually I got here. It's an artillery replay roundup. We're starting off with Lieutenant Joker in his Bison German Tier 2 artillery, which is pretty much just a captured French field gun. Stuck on top of the chassis of, I think it was a Panzer 38T, with a little bit of armour plating stuck around to actually protect the gun. I mean, if you look at it, you can actually see that they didn't even bother taking the wheels off the artillery. And you can actually, I mean, it was designed that you could actually dismount the gun if you wanted to. And that's pretty much exactly what it was, just captured French artillery pieces mounted on the chassis of obsolete Panzers. So it's a Tier 3 game with our tiny little Tier 2 German army. And we're here on Province. Low tier only map. Got an M3 Stuart there trying to climb up the hill. Coming around the northern side of the base. But we're switching fire to this T2 medium tank. And Joker has a few... well, he doesn't have a very good game at the start of this match. He has a real hard time actually hitting anything. And yeah, we are losing 6-0. Just, you know, 7-0. Nobody on our team's actually hit anything, let alone killed anything yet. Come on. Come to daddy. There we go. Is he finally going to hit the target? Not this time. And we're losing 8-0. Come on, Joker, kill something. Okay, there we go, finally. Somebody on the team knows how to drive their tank. And now we're losing 9-1. I spoke too soon. Come on, Joker, pull it back. Booyah! That's what I'm talking about. Oh, holy crap, somebody else on the team killed something. Now we're only losing 3-9. Unlucky not to kill that Panzerjäger. Now, is he going to get his tracks up and get away before we reload? Yep, looks like he is. 4-9, 5-9. Team's starting to pull it back. 6 tanks against 15 a minute ago. Suddenly it's not looking quite so desperate. Now, where have they all gone? See, everybody's camping in behind the buildings, but yeah, you know, when you're outnumbered like this, isn't a bad idea, but it means that artillery is completely ineffective because nobody's spotting anything. There we go. D1. Tough little tank. If we can damage him or kill him, that will really help the team. Come on, Joker. Good shot. 6-10. There's only 4 in it. Enemy artillery. This guy needs to die. He's got 2 kills. Come on, reload, and fire, and 8-10. 4 kills. M2 there with a 75mm howitzer, by the looks of it. And another kill. 5 kills. Suddenly the scores are even. Considering that we had 6 tanks fighting 15 enemy tanks just a few minutes ago, this is pretty impressive. But we've run out of targets again. Come on, guys, don't let us down. There we go. Oh, close, but not quite. And the T127 finishes him off. T127's doing alright as well, 3 kills. So, 4 of them left, 5 of us. And they're probably not feeling quite as brave as they were now. Oh, Panzer 38T stuck in the middle of the field. Oh, and a Lux. Okay, Lux is on higher health. Not much splash damage at all on these low tier artillery, so... Oh, there goes the Lux. Whereas with higher tier artillery you could drop a shell between 2 tanks and damage them both with the splash damage. Particularly with some of the American artillery, you can't really do that. Well, you can't... It's not just that you can't really do that, you can't do that at all with lower tier artillery. The splash damage just isn't effective enough. Go on, Joker. 7 kills. Next. Oh, no, that T-26 is backed right into cover. There's 2 of them left. We know where the T-26 is. I haven't got a clue where the other guy is. And if we're going to hit that T-26, yep, he's going to have to move. These things don't have the most powerful engines in the world. I mean, they don't have to carry a lot of weight, but, you know, there's a reason why they mount them on the chassis of obsolete panzers. Come on, guys, don't be shy. We're only going to kill you. Excellent, there's a scout moving up. He's going to start taking fire, and we just need to kill stuff before... Oh, backed off just as we fired. Got to support that scout tank who just moved up there to spot these fellas for us. Ah! We can't let him die, otherwise we'll be sitting here for the rest of the match just waiting for the enemy to move forward. Oh, this could be dangerous. He's moved out of the cover of the buildings, he's up on the corner. And we're not in a position to give him fire, and there's both of them. They're both up there now. Panzer 3A. Come on, Lux. Okay, Lux, we're going to have to leave you to it. We're going to get this T-26. Nailed the T-26. And the Lux kills the Panzer 3A. Well played. Good game. Look at that. 8 kills. Yeah, not bad at all. So there's 3 players there with... nearly all of the kills on the team. In fact, yeah, 3 players with 12 kills. And, you know, it just proves what I was saying in my Science of Fail video. You've pretty much got 4 players on that team who were worth a damn. And the rest of them were completely hopeless. And if you look at the enemy team, you've got 2 players on that team who were worth a damn. And the rest of them were just, you know, Joe average or completely useless. And it's the team that only has 1 or 2 more good players that wins every time. So that was Lieutenant Joker in his Bison, Tier 2 German artillery, absolutely cleaning everybody's clocks on Province. Now, here's Dawn Striker in his S51, Russian Tier 6 artillery. And I have to confess, well, the artillery replays have given me some problems. And it's nothing to do with the machines themselves or the quality of the replays that have been sent in. It's because they're artillery replays. And I feel as if I need to be very, very careful. Because, well, you're going to watch here is Dawn Striker's replay in his S51. And it's a good game. It's a good artillery game. But if you play a good artillery game, and you have a team that perform well, they can be really boring to watch. You know, it's not the same in-your-face action as driving a medium tank around and dogfighting enemy tanks and outflanking them and circling them, pumping shots in their rear. You basically, in artillery view, you may as well just be watching markers move around a map. But I don't want to penalise the artillery players who play good artillery games just because the match itself isn't as exciting to watch. You can have exciting artillery matches, but it's usually when everything goes to rat shit, your team collapse around you, and you end up having to go into tank destroyer mode. and defend yourself from enemy light tanks and medium tanks. And yeah, that makes for an exciting artillery game. But we've got tank destroyer subcategory in the replay contest to cover that sort of thing. And so I just wanted to reassure everybody who's sent in artillery replays that you don't have to drive around Himmelsdorf and get 6 kills in tank destroyer mode playing your artillery in order to stand a chance of winning the artillery section, because I do understand that while that is more exciting and interesting to watch, it's not artillery gameplay. And so you guys who've sent in examples like this one, this game of Dawn Strikers here, which are good artillery games, you shouldn't worry that you're going to have your... Oh, whoa, did you see that? 926 damage. Yikes. Yeah, that's going to leave a mark. Where was I? Yes, I was trying to reassure the artillery players. Yeah, you don't need to worry that just because your game looked like this. Nothing wrong with this match. Dawn Striker plays a good game. He has a good team, more importantly, despite the fact that there are 3 artillery on either side, and the enemy team are the only ones with any scouts. They have a Chaffee and a 1390. The friendly team here have to rely on their medium tanks and heavies to scout the enemy. So the advantage is definitely on the enemy team's side here. And despite that, well, look at this. I'm going to speed things up here slightly, because now that you've got an appreciation for just how long the aiming time and reload time on an S51, when you get artillery to tier 5 and up, watching them in real time is like watching paint dry. Look at that. Look at the massive hit on that IS-7. So, E75 or E100? And you can see he's trying to... where are you going to put the shot? Still waiting to reload. And if these guys get any closer together... Splash damage, just missed the E100. If these guys get any closer together, he's going to look for the opportunity to drop a shot between them and hit more than one tank with splash damage. And very, very nearly gets to do that. But you can see him looking for the opportunity. Another solid hit on that IS-7. And of course, there are still 2 surviving enemy artillery, so while you're waiting to reload, reposition. Don't make it easy for them. You never know who could be watching it. And this is what I'm talking about. He could have killed that IS-7 and damaged the E100 if he just reloaded a little faster. But look at this T-54 making a run. Look at this guy. Duty hero. And of course, Dawn Striker has to be very, very careful here, especially when the T-54's that close to an E100. Tier 5 artillery and up, you really, really need to watch your splash damage. IS-7's going for the E75. T-54's concentrating on the E100. Come on, let's reload. Okay, the E75 dead. IS-7 played a good game. He's dodging enemy artillery fire. And there we go. They took out the E100 without our help. Okay. Ooh. IS-8 rammed and then finished off the E50. Panther 2 is going to need some help here. But it's a good 20 seconds before we can reload. And I don't fancy his chances against that IS-8. He's doing his best, but okay. But again, we can at least avenge him, even if we couldn't reload in time to help him out. And suddenly, all they have left is their 2 artillery, one of which is on 3 kills. And a mouse. So despite the fact that the team, and there goes one of their artillery, despite the fact that the team had no scout tanks, and the enemy team had a Chaffee and an AMX 1390, with 3 artillery on either side, I think we can safely say that the artillery on Dawn Striker's team definitely did a better job. Oh, another huge hit on that mouse. Watch the T110E3. Look, did you see that? Rammed him. And then derped him right in the face. So that was an entertaining match. And as I said in the beginning of this particular segment, I just wanted to reassure the artillery players who are watching, and they're thinking, they're looking at some of the other replays in the medium tank games, and the light tank games and thinking, yeah, those were really, really good games, really nail-biting, exciting stuff to watch. And then they look back at the replays they've sent in and they thought, it's like watching paint dry when you're watching artillery replay in comparison to those. Yeah, I mean, that's just the nature of playing artillery. I'm not going to penalise you for that. Dawn Striker here played a great game. He only got 1 kill, but he did a massive amount of damage to the enemy team, and he hit the targets that needed to be hit. Right? He didn't go around looking for easy kills. He supported the team. It's a good artillery player. He knows what he's doing. He doesn't take risky shots and end up killing teammates. And that's one of the biggest problems with artillery from tier 5 and up. So if you've sent in a replay like this, then you needn't worry. You know, I'm giving it exactly the same consideration. When you play a good game in artillery with a good team and things go well, and unfortunately it's not that exciting to watch. I'm not going to penalise you for that and give preference to those games where everything goes to rat shit. Your team are completely hopeless and you end up chasing heavy tanks around, firing in direct fire mode around street corners on Himmelsdorf in your artillery. Because that's not an artillery game, that's a tank destroyer game. And while it is definitely more exciting to watch than, you know, chasing icons around a map, which is basically what an artillery replay is, I'm giving both games equal weight. So hopefully, you know, that will help to reassure some of the guys who've sent in artillery replays. So we're going to round things off here with a very tense game from KK Clan in his M12 American Tier 6 artillery. Now, before the English speakers amongst us get all excited and hot and bothered about KK Clan's name and start posting comments denouncing that I could feature a replay from a Ku Klux Klan supporter, just bear in mind that KK Clan here is not English. English is not his first language, and it's very, very easy to... Well, let me just put it this way. The Chevrolet Motors Company were wondering why their Chevy Nova wasn't selling very well in Latin countries until somebody pointed out to them that in Spanish, Nova means it doesn't go. So just because KK Clan means something negative if you speak English isn't necessarily the same thing in Eastern Europe. So we're giving them the benefit of the doubt here, and here we are on mines. It's a tier 9 game, 3 tier 9s on each side, and we're in a little tier 6, well, I say little, it's still huge, M12 artillery. And this was a really tense game, very well played. The enemy tanks seemed to get the better of our tanks, but our artillery was spectacularly good in this game. You'll see what I mean. Now, when you're looking at good artillery players, they seem to fall into 2 distinct categories. You've got those guys that concentrate on just removing enemy tanks from the game as quickly as they possibly can. And if that means wasting a shell that can do a potential 1,000 damage on a tank that only has 50 health, that's what they'll do, because it's an enemy gun that isn't firing back at the team. And that's fine. I'm not here to argue the pros and cons. But there's another kind of artillery player who want to get the most bang for their buck that they possibly can, and they will always shoot at the target with the highest health. Now, personally, I'm not saying either strategy is the best. I think it entirely depends on the circumstances, and the best artillery players, in fact the best tank players of any category, will do whatever's the best thing to do in whatever situation they find themselves in. KK Clan here appears to be the kind of guy who prefers to get the full damage out of his shell, and you're going to see in circumstances where he has a choice of shooting at 2 targets, and one of them, if he hits, he'll probably kill it, but he goes for the one that's on 100%, and that seems to be the way he plays. And the reasoning behind that is simply because, well, you'll see, at one point in this match in particular, who would you rather be facing off against? If you've got two friendly tanks left alive, trying to hold off the onslaught of the enemy tanks, and you're both pretty badly beaten up, would you rather be facing off against 5 enemy tanks that are all on 20% because artillery's been spreading the damage around, and if you get the first shot you can kill them, providing they don't all come at you 5 at a time, or would you rather be facing off with 3 enemy tanks who are all on 100%, who are going to, even if you get the first shot off, they're going to kill you with their next shot, because artillery has been concentrating on killing tanks rather than spreading the damage around. And those are the pros and cons of both situations. So just bear that in mind when you're watching how this replay works out. Having a quick look at the enemy base, seeing if he can spot artillery tracer while he's reloading, which is never a bad idea. You notice he's not actually aiming there, he's just looking there. He's aimed elsewhere. There you go. He's reloaded, and then we have to wait and wait and wait. And this is a very, very, very dodgy shot of this T-29. There's a very, very small chance that he's got to, basically he's got to fire between two rocks to try to hit him. And come on, come on. And even then it's probably not going to hit unless it clips his turret. And that's exactly what it does. But he couldn't do that twice, could he? Yeah. What's this? I'm going to speed things up, by the way. 2 times speed for artillery replays I think isn't a bad idea if you're at tier 5 or up. And he fires, and he kills the T-29. He does it twice. But the scores ain't looking too good. We're losing 5-8. And we're going to be losing worse than that. Here we go. 2 tanks. 100%. 1 on 75-ish. And he went for the 1 on 75-ish. And it turned out to be exactly the right thing to do. Because other people concentrated on the guy with a lower health. Unfortunately, now we're losing 5-10. But all of those enemy tanks, because of the way, or partially because of the way KK Clan's been playing, all of those enemy tanks are badly beaten up. And that allows our E75 to one-shot kill the T-34. But yeah, here comes some big angry tanks. And there's an IS-3 around the corner there. Which means we're being spotted by artillery and we're kind of stuck behind this rock. We cannot move. Oh, there's somebody hit us. Not sure who it was. We got the IS-3. So we're clawing the scores back. Great. So we brought it up to 8-11 and now it's 8-12 and they've killed the E-75. And that Lerva's sitting there on 3%. We just can't get out from behind these rocks. Artie knows we're here. Artie's watching. They're waiting for us to shoot. They're following our tracer. We can't move from behind these rocks. And there are still 6 enemy tanks running around out there. 5 enemy tanks running around out there. Yep, Artie knows we're here. They ain't stupid. That Su-14 is giving us real problems. Now, somebody's got to do something to break this stalemate. And it's going to be that AMX-13 F3. Little French artillery over there, the tier 5. And it is the logical choice. The Lerva's not going to move without getting hit. And the AMX-13 F3 is the most manoeuvrable thing that we have left on the team. Just love to know where that M103 is and why he's not particularly keen in pressing the attack. And where's the T50? You know, why isn't he spotting for artillery? Well, the AMX is making his run. And we're about to find out why the M103 wasn't too keen on coming around the corner. Because he's sitting there on 94 health. Yep, he's been sitting behind that rock for the last 6 minutes. And ooh, that was close. Okay, well, the Lerva saved our ass there. French artillery came running around the back trying to do exactly the same thing we're trying to do. The Lerva spotted him, killed him, but then the enemy Hummel nailed the Lerva. And we ain't going to hit that M103 by sitting behind this rock. But now that we're probably not being spotted, we're taking a bit of a chance here. We're coming around to get a better angle at the M103. and he can see on his map that the AMX is making a run for it, teasing him out. He falls for it, we fire, he's dead. Now, they have T50 and 2 artillery. And Frenchie here, we're going to cover him, and he's going to spot for us. But we need to go... Oh, there's the SU-14. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Fire. Oh, give me a break. Come on, Frenchie, have him. There we go. Good shot. And we're reloading. Suddenly it ain't looking quite so desperate. There's only 1 minute and 40 seconds of the game left, and here comes a T50-2. Oh, crap. And we fire, but we don't kill him. Oh, my God. Come on, Frenchie, defend yourself. Good shot. Minute of the game left. 2 of us versus a Hummel. We just need to find him. There he is. Oh, crap, he missed. Oh, no. Oh, God. That was so close. And this is going to be a draw. And there's only 20 seconds of the map left. What a way to lose. It's a real shame. Both teams played really well. And of course the draw was a loss for both sides, and neither side really deserved a draw there. But you know, them's the breaks. You can't win every game, regardless of how well you play. And well played game, particularly for a friendly artillery. Great teamwork between the 2 artillery players at the end of that match. And fun to watch. Which is unusual for an artillery replay. You know, they can be exciting as well. Even if you're not running around derping people in the face at point blank range, they can still be exciting to watch. And that was certainly a good example. So that finishes off tonight's artillery replay roundup. And we'll be back with more random matches tomorrow submitted from the replay contest. I'm going to try to mix things up slightly. Instead of making you sit through mammoth 40 long minute videos with 4 or 5 different replays in each, I'm going to start switching back to putting more than 1 video up a night, but shorter in duration, so perhaps 2 videos, each with 2 replays, just to, you know, open your options up a little. You don't have to commit yourself to sitting down for 40 minutes just to watch me prattle on about other people's games. You can take it in smaller 15-minute segments, so hopefully that will keep everybody happy. In the meantime, as always, take care, and I'll catch you on the battlefield.